Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to worship today at First Baptist Lumberton. Wherever you may be joining us today, we are glad that you are here and that we have gathered for worship. The last few weeks have been interesting with weather and everything else, so hopefully we'll get back into some normality and the regular flow, and we won't have to worry about sub-freezing temperatures and ice on the walkways and all those things. But hopefully you have gotten your feel of winter weather for a while. I know personally I have. We had a great time last weekend on the youth ski trip. Thanks to Doug for planning a great experience, and for the other chaperones who went, and for the students who went. We had a blast last weekend, and knowing that it never got above freezing temperature. And coincidentally enough, while we were there, Canaan Valley, West Virginia set a record for lowest temperature ever recorded, negative 31 degrees. It was in the Wall Street Journal last weekend, so I guess things just follow us around everywhere we go, Doug. But it was a great trip last weekend, but glad to be back with you all today. Just a few announcements to make you aware of. Beginning next Sunday afternoon, we will have the first in our series of events and gatherings for our Mission Discernment Pilgrimage. You may recall a few weeks ago that in worship we shared It's one verse, and you might be wondering how in the world we can spend a month on that, but you'll just have to come and see for the next 4 Wednesday nights as we unpack Jesus' greatest commandment and what it means to love God with all our heart, all our soul, our mind, and all our strength, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. We will begin unpacking that on Wednesday nights through the month of February, so I invite you to come as well, not only our adults, but our children and youth for the various activities that we have going on Wednesday nights. It's a great time to gather together with our church family. Last announcement I want to make today is more of an introduction than an announcement. I want to take the opportunity to introduce to you our guest preacher this morning, the Reverend Dane Jordan. Dane and his wife Amy are here this morning, and Dane serves as the minister to students and the director of student ministries at Wingate University. I believe we have a few Bulldogs in our church family. Some of you may recall that prior to coming here, I had the pleasure of being able to work at Wingate for a few years as an adjunct instructor in the Department of Religion, and so that's where I got to know Dane and to see his influence and his ministry being lived out on the campus with the students and the faculty there at Wingate. And so for today, I'm rocking my Wingate blue and gold, and I know those of you who know me might be a little surprised that I would ever adorn any collegiate colors that were not the collegiate colors of black and orange, but today I'm making a special allowance to adorn the Wingate blue and gold. But Dane is, as I said, serves there at Wingate and has since 2002, I believe. He actually is a graduate of Wingate, and so you have seen a lot of change over the years at Wingate, and he can tell many stories about that, I'm sure. But in addition to graduating from Wingate, he is also a graduate of the Divinity School at Duke University. And Dane and his wife Amy have 2 children, Alexis and Olivia. And so Dane, thank you so much for being here today. Wingate University is a partner of First Baptist Lumberton. You may not realize this, but through the giving that we make to the Cooperative Baptist Fellowship of North Carolina, Wingate University is a recipient of some of those funds. And so through our gathering and collective partnership together, Wingate is a partner of First Baptist Lumberton. And our church has long supported the historical Baptist institutions across North Carolina, has very much been a supporter and advocate for student ministry and missional experiences and the liberal arts and the Christian higher education. And so all of that is a celebration of what we're doing here today. And so Dane, thank you so much for being here, and I'm looking forward to the stories that you're going to share with us this morning. But we have gathered for worship. We have entered into this space for a time of lifting up the name of our Savior. And so let me invite you now to enter into this time of worship, to come wherever you have been through this week, whatever struggles you have faced, come knowing that in this place you can come and rest and be renewed and restored by the Spirit of our loving Lord today. Come and let us worship our God together this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's stand together as we sing. I guess you've noticed by now we don't have anybody playing a keyboard today. This is just one of those days when we are going to not have a keyboard. But our first hymn is Amazing Grace with Our Chains Are Gone. It's printed in your order of worship. Let's stand together as we sing. My chains are gone, I've been set free.
My God, my Savior, Lord, has ransomed me, and like a flood, His mercy reigns.
the children that are here this morning, like to